how I got connected to TTB really was through David. But it wasn't until my first show at David 2 years ago, I think, in Lawrenceville, Georgia, which was a fireside show. And I'm sitting there watching Derek, which I didn't really follow that much. And a light went off in my head. And it came to me that when I was in a bar with about 100 people in St. Simons Island, Georgia, 25 some odd years ago, I remember seeing a kid playing a guitar about 12 years old. And I sat there. Of course, the bar behind me is, rowdy and people drinking and carrying on. And I just was fixated on this kid playing a guitar. And after the set was over, I walked up to him and I said, "What's your name, kid? You're really good." And Derek and his wife said, "Well, I'm Derek," and being shy as he is. And it didn't hit me until after the fireside show that, hey, I've met this guy before. So I can say David's seen him 100 times, but I saw him first. So, and I got to retell that story, courtesy of David's connection to Derek, and he was. He goes, "Oh yeah, I remember that place. It was up the stairs," and and it was nice to tell David this story. And kind of David's like, "I don't know if Starr's telling the truth," but and when Derek remembered where it was, David's kind of said, "Damn it, he did see him first." So, and I'm a rookie compared to David. That was my sixth show on Friday and Saturday nights, fifth and sixth show. So. Really, they're on heavy rotation in my cars. Let's just say that.
Wow, that I appreciate you sharing it. That's quite a history you got right there, and it's amazing or interesting how you kind of, I guess, forgot that you had met him as a kid, but then you met him again later in life, and he had like the same energy that you're describing. And I thought you were going to say he remembered you, but he remembered the venue is what it was. And I believe that certainly. For sure.
Yeah, the one thing I do remember about my interaction when he was 12 was as I'm telling this youngster that was just a virtuoso. I mean, on the guitar, I was just amazed that somebody that young could handle the instrument the way he did. I believe it was either his father or his manager, because his manager was in St. Simons Island at the time. When I was telling him, I said, you're really good. You're going places. You should keep this up. And his manager or his father, I don't know which, kind of looked at him and kind of said, gave him this look like, don't listen to him yet, son. You're not good enough. Kind of gave him that thing, said, don't let it go to your head. But Derek being Derek, I don't think anything ever goes to his head. And I think that brings us around to what David and I witnessed last night, which it's what a performance! What a performance!
Should we work backwards? Should we start last night and work our way back towards Jacksonville? Why don't we start with Jacksonville? We can go in order.
Yeah,
then we can.
But hey,
we'll jump
that,
around.
Adam,
I'm sure. Yeah,
I got to tell you. So when Peter was telling, we happened to be outside by the bus. I think it was I don't know if it was the first time Peter saw him or maybe the second. And we were outside by the bus, and he went up to Derek, and I was blown away that Derek knew the bar, knew he had played upstairs in the bar. I mean, he knew every minute detail of this bar he played at 12 years old. I mean, it was so crazy. And when Peter told the story and everything, I said, sounds like it was Derek's dad telling him not to get a big head at 12. That sounds like something Mr. Chris Trucks would have been telling his virtuoso son at that point in time.
That's a dad thing, not a manager thing. I'm guessing a management thing. Yeah.
Yeah. The manager's like, you're going places, boy. We got to make a lot of money off of you. Come on.
Do you guys think that like the fact that Derek remembered that specific hole in the wall? I don't even know if it's a hole in the wall, but it
was.
Do you think that's like a specific thing to Derek as a person, as a musician, that he remembered that venue? Or do most musicians have a pretty good memory for at least that type of thing, like a venue that they played as an adolescent? Is it more of a Derek thing, or all musicians have a weird memory about venues?
I would venture to say that most people at his stature, I guess, really probably wouldn't have given it much mind to even consider going through his memory and thinking about it. Derek being Derek, I think, I think he went through the files and said, yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that. So I think it's specific to who Derek is. So that's my take on it, because he was very engaged, as David can attest.
I would agree with that. I think it's a Derek thing. I bet other people have come up to him and he said, I remember that bar in Jacksonville, or that one in Pensacola, or whatever. Even when he was young, he just seems to have a read of where he's played and what he's done and stuff. So I think that's a Derek thing.
I think so too, because fans can't even remember where the hell they went to shows half the time. Oh, remember that time we went to that show in New York City? Was that street in the corner with Avenue? Was that at? People don't. Yeah, fans don't even remember where the hell they were. So I think that's definitely something special.